All right, why does it seem like I take one really great step forward and then two huge steps backwards with my health? Anytime I try and do something, I just get moving in the right direction and all of a sudden, I don't get anywhere and things seem to get worse. Why does it feel like this? We're going to talk about this today. So first, I would love to know if you have felt like this, or scratch that, I know you have. How many times you have felt like this? How many times you have felt like this in the last year? How many times you have started something, jumped off and said, I'm going to do this. This is going to be so great. Oh, this is going to be amazing. And then you're like, oh crap, here we go again. Same old thing. And I'm not getting anywhere. What the heck? Ugh. We're going to talk about what that looks like on a timeline and what could be happening with your system here. Yes. So if you put a comment down below and say, oh my gosh, this is yes, or I've had this happen 3 times in the past year, let me know. I would love to hear it. I do check the comments. So this is absolutely a thing, and you are definitely not alone. You are not alone in feeling like this, for sure. So oftentimes when we're starting off on a journey, and I'm going to use, like weight loss as an example here, this does not always have to be the example. This could be, I'm working on my sleep. I'm working on my energy. I'm working at building muscle, right? I'm working at these things, right? It can go in an up and down fashion. And a lot of the time, what's really important to realize with the female body is that you have different bodies throughout the month, which I talk about that more in my book, The Female Fat Solution, how many different bodies you have throughout the month and how your hormones have an impact on your muscle building ability, how you sleep, how you digest food, all these things. It impacts everything, right? Passes through the blood-brain barrier, so it impacts your neurology and all this stuff, right? Which is kind of cool, but also makes things different when you're working on your system. But I want to make sure that, when I'm talking about this, most of the time, you notice it when you're looking at, my weight loss journey or my health journey or things like that. Okay, yes. So let's say you start off, right? And this is day 1, right? And you could go through an initial phase here. Oh, look at this. I started this new nutrition plan. Yay! I'm making progress. So I'm going to do this as like weight in pounds, right? And it doesn't have to be this. This is just an easy example to use. And probably something that you're like, holy crap, that's exactly what happened to me before. Yes. So say you start off here, the actual weight doesn't matter because your body weight is made up of a lot of different things, but you go through an initial phase of some type of, nutrition thing. I'm cleaning up what I'm eating. I'm eating really clean. I'm eating paleo. I'm doing paleo. Yes. Okay. I'm doing the paleo thing. Awesome. Great. Well, initially you might notice like, holy cow, I had a decrease here. Look at that. Oh, this is great. Maybe this is 2 weeks. Maybe this is 4 weeks. That's that initial phase of time there, right? The amount of time doesn't necessarily matter. It's more of what's happening in your system that makes you feel like you're making progress. Elizabeth, I feel like this with everything I start trying to improve myself, organization, meditation. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a really good one. Healthy eating, everything. Yes. And I'm going to talk more about some of these other things and some other things to pay attention to with your system. So initially your system will go through a detox phase. So a lot of the initial weight loss you're having is not actual body fat percentage change, body composition change. It is literally excess fluid that is stored within your cells, within your body, within your intestinal wall, all that stuff. That shifts. So you're like, yay, look at me. What I'm doing is great. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, nope, nothing's happening. Or my weight's starting to creep back up again. And then over this period of time here, you're like, oh crap, this is not good. This is not good. I didn't do anything different. Why is this not changing? Or why can't I stick with it, right? A lot of times with our system, right, we are getting used to doing something different, right? So when that initial change happens, your body goes into that shift right away. Great. But after that initial change, there's a whole other phase to look at. The second phase, and again, I'm using the example of weight loss, building muscle. Having your muscle build. So when the initial fluid gets flushed out of your system, great, but now your body's starting to build muscle, lean muscle. That doesn't mean your body fat percentage changes, but the actual scale can go up. Your clothes can still fit differently and things like that because you're actually getting more lean muscle. This is great. We need that lean muscle. Lean muscle is so important for strength, stability, balance, nutrient retention, and calorie burning, all of these things. But the other thing to pay attention to and think about here is your brain and how your brain responds to new different things. When you're just starting something new, it's new, exciting, it's a different routine, all that stuff. So your brain's like, yes, this is wonderful. But there gets to be a point where it's like, okay, I'm done with this. I'm done with this being new and wonderful. I'm sick of this. I don't want this to be my new normal. So I'm going to fight it, right? I'm going to fight it, and it will fight it. So not only are you seeing the physical result thing go in the wrong direction, right? Go in the wrong direction. This is the toughest phase right here, the middle, where you feel like, oh, this isn't going right. I'm doing something wrong, everything else. Now, the important thing to realize here is that if you are stuck in the middle, in this phase right here, if you are stuck here and you quit, you will not be able to get beyond the middle. You will not actually see things shift here. Because what happens next? What happens next is your metabolism actually starts to work. You've already detoxed, you've got that lean muscle, and now your metabolism is working. So you actually start to make steady progress, and you get to a good, healthy weight, right, where you want to be. This is where you wanted to be all along. Time frame wise is the toughest thing. How long is this going to take? Every body is different. This is where it gets to be really difficult to answer, because if you're comparing yourself to somebody else, or even comparing yourself to you from 2 years ago, saying, I did this paleo thing 2 years ago and I was able to get here in 3 months, and now I've been doing this for 6 months and I haven't gotten anywhere, right? I haven't gotten anywhere. Then what am I doing wrong? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? Nothing's wrong with you, right? Nothing's wrong with you, because your system is waiting for you to get to that fail point. Yeah, it's waiting for you to get to that fail point. So if you have done something before, your body now is different than it was before. Your stress levels, your hormone levels, things that you had to put up with, all of that stuff. It's very hard to live within a body that does not react and is reacting in the wrong direction. But if all you're doing is following that physical result, then you're not thinking about the internal changes and realizing that you're actually going to be moving in the right direction because you're doing things in a healthy manner, right? You're doing things in a healthy manner. The holidays blow for this. Too many naughty food choices, too many excuses. Yes. That's one of the toughest things that people are like, I can't make these healthy choices over the holidays. There's way too much stuff going on. Yep. But what if your meal plan allowed for you to have treats and you were still able to at least maintain and not go backwards? It's a whole different way of working with your body. It's a whole different way of looking at everything. And it's really important to understand, if you have not ever been guided through the tough middle part, then that's what you're missing. And that's what we do. That's what we do. So I'm going to put a link here in the comments for you to learn more about the one-to-one program that I have, where you will get, hormone testing. We do Dutch testing, we do GI mapping to make sure we know how your gut is functioning. And then we also do genetic testing so that we make sure we know what your genetics are, because sometimes, there was somebody, was this a few weeks ago now? Yeah, because I just heard from her, again, we were talking about some things. She got a genetic test and she had held off on getting her genetic test. And I said, listen, this is why we, roll it into this, because it's so important. And learned more about how her system functions in the middle part. It gets nutrient depleted really, really quickly. Oh my gosh. Well, now that we know that, and now that we can tailor to that, getting beyond that middle part, getting beyond that stuck part. Because the stuck part is where you will quit on yourself every time. Now again, the time frame for this can be different for different people. Some people, this is 3 weeks. And then they go through in another 3 weeks, and if they don't see the same progress in the second 3 weeks that they did in the first 3 weeks, they think that it's going in the wrong direction, which is actually not true, which is why it's so helpful to have that guidance, to have that step-by-step guidance all the way through for people to say, oh, here's where you're at, right? Or all we have to do is get beyond this point. And once these things happen, then you're in the clear over here, but you have to work through this point first. If you don't have anybody to help guide you through that, and you don't have, any of the testing done that helps you see that, then it's tough to navigate it on your own. It feels like you're walking through a minefield with a blindfold on, not knowing when something's going to blow up in your face. Have that guidance through it. Have that guidance through the tough middle point here, so that you know when things are shifting internally, moving you still in a good direction, and able to get you to your result that you want. Yes. So, all right. Make sure, again, if you're like, yes, oh my gosh, I keep getting stuck here, or I turn around, or I stop myself right in this middle point, go in the comments. get on that wait list, learn more about how to work with me or how to get this testing done so you can learn more about your system personally and understand what you need. Yeah. All right. Other things I have for you are my YouTube channel, Dr. Beth Westie. You can subscribe to stay updated on all the videos I have coming out. My podcast is called The Female Health Solution. Subscribe to that for all the podcasts coming out. And then I also have my tinctures for your hormones, one for estrogen, one for progesterone. This helps your system maintain the correct amount of estrogen and progesterone throughout your cycle. All right. That's what I got for you guys today. Let me know if you need anything else. Otherwise, I will see you later.